Hello everyone, this is Chris, and one of the most underused features that Bedrock Edition has is the old style world, a 128 by 128 size world. And I think in some ways that's kind of a shame because having a limited sized world gives you so many more possibilities, gives you makes you think differently about what you're going to use and other things like that. And I'd guess the only reason why people don't use this world more often is the fact that it's a little bit too small, if I'm honest. Like 128 by 128 blocks is very, very limited. But I think today's seed solves that by having it be limited, but not to a point of it being too limited. So by typing in these numbers, you spawn in right here, right where this diamond pillar is, and normally this looks pretty much like a normal world. I mean, there's nothing too special about it when looking at it like this. Which is why we have to go up about 600 to 700 blocks into the sky just to get a feeling as to what I mean by having a limited world while not being too limited. Because in some ways you spawn inside of a survival island seed, which in some ways you could kind of call it that, and in other ways, like, I think this is to the point where it's so big that I don't think you could really call it that. But yeah, once you're up I think about this high, you could see just what I mean by it being limited but not too limited. This thing right here is the entire spawn area of the world, which I think I've measured it out on being about 1,200 blocks long and about 800 blocks in width. So, yeah, it's big enough so it doesn't feel too limited. Think of it as like, if you remember the old console edition days, how the worlds were, I think, about 860 by 860 blocks big. Think of it kind of like that, where it's limited, but there's plenty of things on it to make it feel not so limited. Speaking of all the things on this island, let's head our way right the way back down to planet Earth and actually show you what's on this huge, huge area which you have to play around with. So, first off, where was the spawn area? The spawn is around about over there, and if you walk your way about 50 blocks, and you will eventually come across your first village. And this one, it's nice having a village, but it's also nice having what you find inside of a village, like crops, like village trading, and like other things like that. And in your way about 50 blocks from that village, you will eventually come across this rune portal. So, yeah, in case you do want to get yourself to the nether, then this is probably one of the easier ways to do it. I mean, you do, granted, have to break a couple bits of crying obsidian, but in the end, it's still not too hard. And if you do use that rune portal to get yourself into the nether, then this is the nether spawn you will get, and it's not too bad. There's nothing too incredible, but yeah, in case you just want to get yourself an easy way, then that is definitely the thing to do. And I actually haven't scouted out the nether, but from the looks of things, you're getting lots of classic style nether wastelands with a little bit of basalt delta. So in case that's your thing, then this is definitely the place to do it in. But let's stay on focus on the big main survival island, which, by the way, this one island, I think, has about 5 different types of biomes. We have the forest right here, we have the desert right here, we have a sunflower plains right there, over there we have a normal plains, and we have a savanna. Oh, and a small bit of savanna hill. So I guess you could kind of count this as 6, but if I'm honest, this is the saddest type of a savanna plateau I think I have ever seen in my life. Like, look at this, it only goes up about 5 blocks, but at least on the plus side, you do get this luscious green grass you get to play around with. And you also get yourself this one village right here, which is kind of submerged into this one tiny little savanna hill. So, yeah, in case you do want to get yourself up to this one house, then it's going to be a small bit of a challenge. But there's also another reason why you might want to hop your way up here, and that is to do with a little certain thing which is underground. And if you dig yourselves right down at these coordinates, 1 block, 2 blocks, you'll come right into a zombie spawner. And this one is particularly unique because look at the Y level we are at. We are at Y level 82, which means that you have the option of making a very, very different type of zombie spawner way up in the sky. Because, what? Look at it. You just have to dig yourself away a little bit of this hill, and then you have the option to build yourself a pretty different type of zombie spawner. I don't think you really have many options to do in other places. Heading yourselves to the opposite side of the survival island, you will find this big plains, and I think out of all the places, this is probably the best place to build yourself a pretty decent sized base, because if you look at it, it's not too incredibly hilly. Apart from like one or two small little areas, it's relatively flat. But another reason you might want to head over here is because of this second desert, which also has your third village right the way over here. And this one is a little bit submerged right inside of the ocean. So I don't know if there's any use for that, but in case you want to just have a different type of village where it's sort of hanging itself right over the water, then definitely head your way over here. And also you probably noticed this, like this huge island also has the benefit of having Minecraft's best structure, the desert well. But do you know what's even better than having a normal desert well? Having a submerged desert well completely covered in with sand. And there we go, we have it fall all the way down. And yes, this is like miles better having yourself a giant sand block right over your desert well. I mean, it's just massively improved this entire survival island thing. But something else which is more realistic and more useful is this guy right over here, the Desert Temple. And yeah, this one somehow managed to spawn in right inside this not tiny little island, but small enough to make the odds pretty low. So yeah, if you want to get yourself over here to get yourself even more free loot, even more random loot, then you could totally have the option to do so. And yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of this huge survival island. And in case you're wondering how far mainland is, well, all you have to do is head your way over to the one desert we were just at and head just about 100 or so blocks over the ocean, over this tiny iceberg, and into a dark forest. So in case you wanted to get yourself some dark oak wood or some spruce wood or other types of materials, then it's actually not too incredibly hard heading your way off of your main spawn island, heading your way over here, getting your things, and heading your way back over here. And you might have noticed these other types of land masses in the far distance. Well, because I'm playing on a PC with super high render distance, that means that these other mainlands areas are actually, I think, about 400 to 500 blocks at least away. So yeah, you are very captivated in terms of how far you are from the mainland, apart from that one little area. But yeah, in case you are interested in getting other types of things, like other than just wood, then maybe head your way over to this little area first, where it holds the current mountain biomes. In the future, obviously, they will look a small bit different to what this looks like. But in case you're looking for other types of biomes, then this is one of the places to head to. But finding mountain biomes relatively close to spawn is a little bit expected, if I'm honest. Well, one biome pretty close to spawn that isn't so expected is this guy right here, the Mesa or Badlands biome right over here. So in case you want to get yourself some red sand or essentially an infinite supply of terracotta, because if you look at these mountains, like these spread out for a huge distance, like yeah, you are basically set for terracotta for life with this one seed. And also you get the super rare type of Mesa Bryce or Badland Bryce. I never know the names of these biomes after the biome name changed. But in case you want to get these Mesa or Terracotta Spike biomes, whatever they're called, then yeah, head your way over to these coordinates and you will have an infinite supply of these one spikes. And in case you're looking for other types of unique and different types of structures, then head your way over this way past your one main island. Head yourself, I believe it's over this direction. We'll have to wait until the chunks load. And just around here, first off, you'll find yourself a slightly submerged ruin sitting itself right above the water. So getting things inside of it is probably going to be a little bit easier than normal. But something that isn't quite so easy to get yourself in and out of is the ocean monuments. Yeah, this guy is about a couple hundred blocks from your spawn area. So in case you do want to get yourself some sponge, some prismarine, and other things like that, then head your way over here, clear out this monument, and get all the loot from it. And of course, it wouldn't be a seed showcase without me showing off the stronghold. So head your way over to these coordinates right at this one village, which is a little bit unique because it spawned itself right on side of a mountain biome, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the main purpose you'd want to head yourself over here is the stronghold. So heading yourselves down right the way down here, you'll come across the end portal room. And this one is so incredibly rare because it has absolutely no Eyes of Ender. And okay, I'm kidding. Like, this is very, very common. But yeah, in case you do want to find yourself the Stronghold room, the end portal room, to get yourself inside the end, then this is where to head to. And I'm not exactly sure what I did to make this happen, but I am walking through the end portal blocks. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, or if end portals could just be walks through now, but very, very strange things. And if strange really isn't your thing, then I'm sure the absolute size of this survival island spawn will do you more than enough for the rarity of it, because yeah, I really don't see survival islands really this absolutely huge, and I don't even think you could really call this a survival island seed because of just how absolutely huge and diverse this thing is. But yeah, in case you do want to make the most of it, then totally do it. Make yourself a Hermitcraft Season 6. Make yourself something like this on this huge island right here. But yeah, for now, that's pretty much all I have for you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.